Okay, my name's Paul Ackroyd from the National Gallery's Conservation Department, and I'm going to be talking about the cleaning of this painting by Frans Hals, a portrait of a middle-aged woman. We don't know very much about the sitter, we don't know her identity, but it's quite likely this was part of a pair of paintings. So it would have been her, the wife, and the husband in a separate painting on this side, and both facing each other. All we know is that she was quite a well-to-do woman, quite wealthy, judging by her silk fabric, and that she probably would have lived in Haarlem, which was the part of the Netherlands that was controlled by Spain, and where Hals spent most of his working life. Hals worked at great speed and was not especially accurate in the way he painted. This sort of paint here, which goes over the cuff, over the white of the cuff, is not that particularly accurate. There are other areas like these strokes here, which have been put in quite quickly, and so on. And this area here, which piece of black, which doesn't really seem to relate to anything, but is probably original. So he would have worked quite quickly doing the drapery and paid much more attention to the hands and face. The painting was acquired by the National Gallery in 1876, and it hasn't been cleaned or restored since that date, up until now, as you can see. Where I have removed the varnish in this area here and down here, you can see a lot more detail, and you can see the effects of the discoloured varnish, which is probably around 150 years old by now. Particularly here, you can see the yellowing of the varnish when it's against this area of the white cuff, which has been cleaned, and a bit in the collar. But you can also see how milky and foggy the varnish has become in the dark areas. Where it's uncleaned here, you can hardly read any of the details of the folds and the pattern on the fabric, and up here you can't really see any of the details of the brush strokes and so on in the dark background. You can also see that the painting is quite damaged at the edges here where I've cleaned. And this is because at some point in the past the painting has been folded and onto a smaller stretcher to reduce it in size, probably to make it fit a smaller frame. This part of the painting here would have been folded around the back of a stretcher and then tacked on, and these are the tack holes here. And when that happened, the excess part of the painting that protruded at the back was cut off. So the painting has lost some of its original dimensions. It would have been somewhat larger, certainly at this side, perhaps a bit at the top and this side, and probably quite a good bit at the bottom as well, actually. At some point in the latter part of the 19th century, the painting was lined. That is, a new canvas was stuck onto the back of the original canvas. And we do know who did that, and we know approximately when that lining was made. On the back of the stretcher, I'll just show you, we have a liner's stamp, which is just here, and it says W. Morrell, liner. Although the lining is around about 150 years old, it's still in good condition and there's no need to replace it. The next stage is to complete the cleaning and have the painting photographed as well. And then once the painting is cleaned, and then the painting will be restored, these damages touched out, and the abrasion which has been caused by a previous cleaning will also be retouched. You can see here how, in this area here where I haven't cleaned, the painting is quite worn.